presents the Beat Basement, where you hear from your livest producers, all of them. And this is where it all goes down, where you hear the funky sounds from the producers that's up and coming to Grammy Award winning, all of them. And I'm your host Swish, and we going in, everything going in. Well, on this episode, man, we got one of the most talented brothers on this side of the earth, man. This dude came to show y'all and to let y'all know that he is always going to put in work. On this episode, I got my boy GeekStar Beats.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
What it do, man?
Man, I'm chilling, shit. You know, I've been working hard all week. I've been looking forward to being on this podcast, you know. I ain't never been on a podcast like that before.
Okay. I'm glad you was able to make it, you know, make a special appearance on here for the people, man.
Yeah, you know.
Excuse me.
I had to come outside, you know. I'm outside. The Swifties are outside.
Yeah.
Enjoying Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
In fact, they nearly stopped me from getting over
everybody.
here. Man, everybody's outside right now. It's a nice day. You know, I hope you listening and enjoying this nice day. And if it's not nice wherever you listen at, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry for you. Sorry
all
for
right.
you.
The day will get better. Trust me. All right?
Yeah. GeekStar. So let these listeners tell these people where you from, how you doing. Let these folks know a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am GeekStar Beats. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And
Brooklyn? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Yes, sir. I'm from Brooklyn, you know, Brooklyn, New York. I represent. I live in Atlanta. I'm a producer. I like to use Logic. And, you know, I'm just really good at making melodies, you know. I don't like...
So growing up in Brooklyn and being from Brooklyn, I know it must have inspired you musically. Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, what? It did, you know. Being in band in Brooklyn is like culture, you know. My music teacher actually got me started in music production. He used to let us play around on Pro Tools every time we have like a little break during band. And
so you know how to mess with Pro Tools too. Even though you mess with Logic, you know how to mess with Pro Tools.
I mean, I somehow figured out how to use Pro Tools when I was like really young.
Yeah. But
Pro Tools, it's not really good for beat making. It's super great for like recording, mixing, mastering, all that stuff. But Pro Tools, at least as of late, is just really difficult to just make beats on. But yeah, growing up in Brooklyn, being in the band, I played saxophone, and I was friends with a lot of people who like to play music. You know, I knew one person that played guitar. I had a friend named Khalifa. He used to play bass.
Khalifa? Is that Wiz Khalifa?
It's not Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, okay.
It's not Wiz Khalifa, but they're pretty tall.
Okay.
I think.
And they smoke, both of them. Nah, I'm playing.
I don't know about the smoking part, but
right.
I do know that Wiz Khalifa and my boy Khalifa are pretty tall. One's 6'4", one's 6'2". He's 6'2", and I think Wiz Khalifa's like 6'4", right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's pretty tall. And he was a great bass player, you know. We used to just play off of each other whenever we would just jam together, or anytime I gave him a look whenever I'm like performing in the band, I was like, all right, bro, Keep me on beat,
It's
bro.
time to go. Yeah. I need you right now, bro. We need
Heck
this.
yeah. Like we were inseparable. Shoot, we're still inseparable now. We be talking to each other all the time, you know. He's still in Brooklyn. I'm in Atlanta. Shout out to my boy Khalifa, yo.
Shout out Khalifa. He's still
he's
cooking up.
He's a real one.
He's still cooking up. He's still making music.
I don't know if he still plays bass, but I'm sure he probably still knows how to pick that thing up and just go to town on it, man. Not to mention he was a lazy man too.
Yeah. Does he produce?
Nah, I think he just works in like hotels and ish, but
yeah,
you know, he probably still picks it up every now and then. He knows I produce,
right?
And he be telling anybody that's like a rapper, hey, yo, check out my boy GeekStar. He mad nice with the beats, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then other things about growing up in Brooklyn, everybody's like just like cultured, you know. There used to be festivals going around in Brooklyn, freeze festivals for concerts. One concert I remember going to was the Ohio Players.
Oh.
Yeah, they came to Brooklyn.
That's dope.
Like, I didn't know how nice they were when they came to Brooklyn. All I know is my mom was like, hey GeekStar, just come with me to go to this festival. The Ohio Players is coming. I'm like, okay. You know, I think I was like 15 or 14 at the time.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Then there's the whole Calypso scene down there. You know, their music is just so bumpy. Like, it just it just makes you move, you know?
Yeah.
Take a little bit of that. Like, I love their drum patterns and their drum sequencing and just how up the ante with their basses and stuff like that. So there's that. And of course, obviously, hip-hop and rap cultures in Brooklyn is like a natural thing.
Right.
From Poe to Fabulous to Joey Badass to even Designer.
Right. That's where rap music came from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it feels so good to be born in a city where hip-hop originated, you know? Yeah. I might not be in the exact borough, which is the Bronx, but Brooklyn has always been like its own little scene for years. So I've always taken what I've learned from them and just add to my music, you know?
Yeah. How's the saxophone? What made you get into playing the saxophone?
Honestly,
there's a lot of good brothers that play that saxophone now.
Honestly, I think I got into playing saxophone only because when I joined
the drums was taken.
No, drums was actually taken. They always take the drums.
Right.
And unfortunately, I never gravitated toward drums. I've always gravitated to like keyboards and actual instruments because I've always had more of an interest on the melodic side of music. Don't get me wrong, drums is awesome. If you know how to play drums, yo, you the man.
For real.
You the man. Like, for real.
Yeah. It's in every
But anyway, drums was taken. All the trumpet spots were filled up. I didn't want to play clarinet. Like,
what? Why not? That's what I started playing. That was the best instrument ever made.
If you watch SpongeBob, man, Squidward didn't make the clarinet all too cool like that, you know? So I was just like, okay. I want that sax. I want that thingy right there. And my teacher was like, you want to play sax? I'm like, yes, I want to play that. And he's like, okay. So he just passed me the sax. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
It's all brass and golden.
Yeah.
Like, a friend of mine from high school, I can't remember what his name is, but he said basically the saxes are what happens when the brass and the clarinet section have a baby, and boom, saxophones.
That's dope.
I can't remember his name, but if you listening to this, thanks for that.
For real. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So what got you into actually producing music? And
well, to spin back to being back in band class, it was mostly my music teacher, Mr. Tut. Like I said, he had Pro Tools, so we would just kind of mess around on that all day. Not to mention my dad, he had told me about like different producers that he used to idolized, and he used to even produce himself a little bit back in the day. He told me about guys like the RZA, Dr. Dre, Eric Sermon, DJ Premier, like those elements kind of just made me gravitate towards being a producer. And I'm gonna keep it a stack with you right quick. I tried rapping. That was not happening.
What was it? What was it, do you think?
I mean, it was just like, I don't know. I was just not skilled enough to be a rapper, you know? I see all my friends, they would just freestyle and all that. And then whenever they pass me the mic or just pass it off to me, I'm just like, something rhymes with orange.
Right. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like, I was just like, okay, if I know rapper's not gonna be in the scene, so I'd rather be behind the scenes, producing, making all the beats and stuff. Yeah. So fast forward to, I think, 7th grade. My dad got me this video game called Beta Raider. It was made by Timberland, right?
Yeah.
I kid you not. That Christmas morning, I ain't get off my PSP until like 11 at night. Just messing with beats, just like messing around with the synths and the drums and just learning how to sequence and learning about loops and stuff. I kid you not. I couldn't put that down. As soon as I got home, did my homework in like a rush. I was like, and then next thing you know, I'm upstairs just like, okay. Yeah. So if I put the kick right here instead of right here, that should make it hit harder. It should go like boom, 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 boom. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool.
Right. Dang.
But yeah, I played that game for like years upon years until my PSP unfortunately gave out.
That's how serious you was about cooking up.
Yeah. And then fast forward to like, I think 2013, I had an iPod and I learned about this program called GarageBand. And I didn't really have any money like that at the time, you know. So I did like little surveys to get iTunes gift cards, and it was like $4.99. So when I stacked up enough iTunes gift cards to get GarageBand, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Just plug in my little earphones, and then I would just be on there, just like playing with the instruments and playing with the drums. I'd just be making all types of music, electronic music, rap music, sometimes rock music. You know, I also get a little bit of inspiration from rock music as well. Like that was like my first, I guess, official DAW.
Okay. GarageBand.
Yeah.
On the iPhone though.
No, not even on the iPhone, on an iPod.
iPod
Touch.
Excuse me. iPod Touch.
The iPod Touch.
Damn.
Like I have money to have an iPhone like that, you know.
Yeah. Like
everyone else did, and I was just like, okay, I guess I gotta just freak it with the iPod, just like be fucking around. Just be playing with the guitars and shit like that.
You're the only one. You're the first person I've ever heard say they started cooking up on an iPod.
First an iPod, then an iPad.
iPod, yeah, that's dope.
I switched over to the iPad when I broke my iPod.
Yeah.
I broke it during band practice. Damn. If you ever had to face the music, going home, telling your parents that you broke an expensive ass device that they gave you, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. Oh, hey. So I did a little research on you, and I seen you said if you're a loop user, a loop maker, you're not a real producer. Can you tell us more on that?
First of all, that's false. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Time out.
Okay, I seen something.
Time out.
I don't know exactly what it said.
No. I know exactly.
Don't quote me on it.
I know what you're talking about. It was a TikTok video where I was like, producers be like, oh, if you use loops, you're not a real producer.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, like that's not gonna change anything. I still use loops from time to time. There's nothing wrong with that. Like loops are there for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
I've made some great beats with loops, and I've gotten a couple placements with using loops. So where's the issue? You know, one of my first beats that I sold was a beat with an Apple loop. Like for real. Somebody bought that shit for like $80.
Yeah. Damn.
So, excuse me.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So producers who are like, oh, I'm a real producer. I don't use these loops that you find on the internet. Rah, 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 rah. And I'm just sitting there back like, you think you all that in a side of chips just because you don't use loops? Like, come on, bro.
Right.
And then another thing, what happens if a producer like emails you a bunch of loops? You're not gonna use their loops. You're just gonna be like, nah, dude, I can't use your loops. I don't use loops. Not to mention when you make beats, you loop stuff, you know. So it's like it's contradictory as hell.
It is. It is.
Like
it
if
is.
I play like a little piano chord, like dun 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 dun, it's looping throughout the whole entire fucking track.
Right.
So
right. I don't get it.
I don't get that stigma either. I think it's really stupid. I think it's just a way for us to just divide each other when it's like you shouldn't try to divide us. We should try to come together, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's a really stupid thing for people to say, oh, I'm a real producer because I don't use loops. And then them same producers, I've noticed this, some of these same producers, they be like, oh, yo, check out this old obscure R&B record that I just flipped into a crazy fucking Metro Boomin beat. And I'm just like, wait a minute, weren't you just saying that you don't fuck with loops?
Right.
But you sit here taking an old Aretha Franklin record and flipping it into a trap beat?
Yeah. Right. Crazy.
Indubitably.
Yeah. What was this motherfucker said? Indubitably. Hey, are y'all learning anything yet? Because I don't even know what that means, but
I don't know. I heard,
sound like it means something important.
It is.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So tell us how you came up with the name.
The name GeekStar?
Yeah.
Honestly, it draws back to just being back in band. Like I embraced the whole band geek title. Like people try to be like, "Oh, you a band geek." I'm like, so I enjoy this shit. This is what gets me through the day. You know, I'm in class learning about nothing, and then once 3 o'clock hits, boom, I'm in band. So I took that part.
You got something to keep you occupied.
Hell yeah, yeah.
It makes sense. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We all have our things that that somebody else might be like, man, why you doing it? Because it keeps me sane. It keeps me, it's something to do to keep me out of getting in trouble or doing something else.
Yeah, and like if I ain't had this band shit, Lord knows what I'd be doing.
Thank you.
I could just be out here selling nickels and dimes.
Thank you.
But anyway, the geek part, stems from the band geek part, the band geek stigma. So I was just like, okay, I want to turn that shit into a positive instead of a negative, because geeks are cool. We like to we like band, we like anime, all that shit.
Okay.
The star part is, I realized in my 20s that I'm the star of my own show, my own life. Okay. People kind of come and go. Yeah. And that's fine, but at the end of the day, I'm what's important. So the star part is to like remind me that I'm the one that's important. Everyone else, they're important too, but I'm the most important part. And then the beats part, I make beats. That one's a little self-explanatory.
That's dope. That's dope, GeekStar, man. Dope, man. Definitely. Tell us a story about music that you'll never forget.
This was recent, actually. Okay, so I went to a session with DJ Mark B. He's 21 Savage's DJ, right? And so we were just sitting there, we were just chopping it up, you know, just talking about just random stuff. And so I was watching him make a beat from a sample, and I was just like, yo, this dude's really, really dope. So then I was thinking to myself, like, I was thinking in the back of my head, like, yo, ask him if he wants some samples or some loops. And so as soon as I was about to say that, he asked me, hey, yo, bro, you got some samples? I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was.
Do I?
Do I? Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Before that session, I like made loops for a whole entire week. Like every time I came home from work, I would just like, okay, let me make a loop. Let me make a loop. And then it just turned into like 3, 4, 5 loops. So I came to that session very prepared, you know, with at least 15 days worth of loops from a 7-day period. So I sent him the loops, and then it's like taking forever because I'm trying to airdrop it to him, and airdrop doesn't want to fucking work. It works when you don't need it, but when you need it,
it don't work.
It's like, let me take my time.
Yeah.
Let me take my time.
Yeah.
So now I was like, fuck it, I'll just email it to you. And then that was taking long as hell. And I was like kind of internally sweating a little bit. You know, I'm just thinking in the back of my head, like, oh my God, I hope he likes these loops. I hope he likes these loops. So then he opens up the loop pack, and he's just running through them. And then one in particular caught his attention, and I didn't think it would catch his attention. It was a rage loop that I had made like 15 minutes before I left the crib. Like, I was just like going through it, and I was just like, okay, that's done. I don't want to spend too much time on the laptop because I need this bad boy to be charged up. You know, I want to make some beats today.
Yeah.
So that he hears it, and I'll never forget what he's told me. He told me, like, yo, your loop is dope, but the way that it's structured, you know, you want to put the main melody first and introduce everything all at once, because if you just have everything just like up front when you're making the loop, I can't remember what he said, but he wasn't feeling that. But he still took that loop, and he saw that other instruments were in the loop, so he just like broke it down, and then he was just making a beat on it. And then another dude I know named Skate Away, he hopped on the laptop after Mark B was just like done cooking, and he started to add more drums and all that stuff. I was like, yo. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I would have thought he would have went for like the 21 Savage dark samples that I had, but instead he went for the rage loop. I was just like impressed. Like, I kid you not, I couldn't stop talking about that for like a whole week.
That's all right. You stood out. Your loop stood out on that rage tip too. But different. I mean, it's always something different that kind of catches people too. You know what I'm saying? That people like. You know.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, I thought it was too weird because usually rage beats are a little upbeat, a little, you know, happier sounding. But I had made that loop in a very dark key, which was B flat minor. And that key tends to be very dark, very ominous. It plays a lot of the black keys on the keyboard. So I was thinking, like, either this loop is going to be really tight or it's going to kind of flop. But it didn't flop.
Yeah.
You know? Shout out DJ Mark B and shout out Skate Away, man.
Hey, shout out, for real.
Like, I was truly geeking when that happened. And then as the session was going on, more people kept on coming in, and then everyone was like, yo, who's on the loop? And then everyone was like, yo, it's that GeekStar kid. I'm like, yes, sir. I was just like sitting there, like, just like this, watching them just like enjoy the beat. I'm just like, yo, all them tutorials, all them, like, just watching them paid off. You know, my work started to show.
That's dope. That's dope. And since then, have you had any placements or any features or anybody rap on your beats that you know that you?
I got a couple placements. We're working on that right now. I can't really tell you much, but it's gonna be some good shit. It's gonna be some good shit.
Dope. How long have you been cooking up?
I could say anywhere between 3 to like 5-6 years, but I've been pursuing this music thing for like 3 years. So I've been, you know, just been grinding, trying to get into studio sessions, just rub shoulders with other people, all that stuff. But yeah.
How do you put yourself in those rooms and stuff like that?
Networking. Networking, keeping an ear open to different events. You know, sometimes if I can't go to the event, maybe I'll tell somebody like, hey, switch this shift with me, and I'll give you a little something, or if the session's like late at night, I'll just try to thug it out and just either be there, and if I can't be there, then I try to hit up other people who's gonna be there, and I just send them loops. You know?
Yeah, that's dope. Hey, we got 10 minutes before the time lapse. If you give me $30, I'll put 30 with it, and we can get another hour if you want, or you want to just, because the interview is going good, but I still want you to cook up in a minute. What you want to do? Huh?
Cook them now.
Say it again?
Cook them now.
Oh, yeah. You want to cook them now?
Yeah.
All right, bet. But you got 10 minutes to cook up. That's cool? That's enough time? Or you can cook up and then just send it to me. You can cook up somewhere else and then send it to me. What you want to do? What you want to do? Buy some more time?
Oh my God, I'm not even gonna hold you. $30 is a little steep for me, but
right.
I just paid all my bills.
Shit, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Might have to end this right now.
Yeah, nah, I'll take care of it. All
right.
Yeah. But I need to let them know that we're gonna get another hour, or hopefully, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have time for that. All right. What else? Where are we? What else did I want to ask you? I mean, we done about covered everything, really. You know,
you sure you ain't got nothing else you want to ask me?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is there anything else you want to tell the people? What's up?
I mean, I could share some sauce with you right quick.
Okay. We always could use some sauce.
All right. If you use Logic, let me just give you a little. Let me give you a quick little plugin that you should definitely check out. It's called Fat Effects. It's probably one of the best plugins for 808s and kicks, and it'll just make everything booming. It'll take it from like sounding flat and a little thin to like really big.
Okay, dope.
And just general producer advice. Definitely don't be afraid to network. Definitely don't be afraid to go outside, go to local shows, do all that. That's how I be meeting some people. That's how I be meeting people. Go to networking events. That's exactly how I met Swish back in 2019. Like, just try to go to any and all events that you can. Okay, even even if you gotta like call out of work, just sell it really well. Okay, don't. And I know it would be tempting to post pictures. Don't do it just yet. Like, do it the next day. Do it the next day.
Y'all
Okay.
heard that. Y'all heard that. Call out of work, school, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to the events. You got to network.
Right.
Your network is your network. Yeah, man. GeekStar. What else, bro? What else?
What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Use that. Use that. If you go on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, record yourself making the beat. You know, you don't even have to be in front of the camera. You could just point the phone at the laptop and then just show them how to make a beat. Just be like, oh, I made this beat by using this melody or this chord progression. Because trust me, people will be interested in it. Okay.
Yeah.
People will be like clamoring and be like, oh, what kind of chord progression is that? Or, oh, what VST you use? What VST you use? This, that, and third. And you can always share the sauce. Don't I don't like it when producers try to gatekeep shit. Like, just share it. I'm never afraid to tell you how I got a certain sound or where I got a certain sound from. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't just share with the community. Okay? Each one teach one. All right?
Yeah.
I learned that from Mr. Tut. All right? He's a great guy. Great guy. Taught me a good amount of stuff during band class. All right?
Yes, sir. Y'all heard that. Y'all heard it. Do you recommend people get into band? Like, do you think that they should definitely, like, you know, is that something?
I'm going to say this. It would be good to get in band, but if you're at a point where you're in school, like college and shit, I would say just skip it and just go to YouTube. Like, band has definitely helped me with making music because it teaches me about melodies and melody runs and chord progressions and shit like that.
Yeah.
But you can also find that shit on YouTube. Like, you don't know how, like, I could spend a whole day just be looking at YouTube tutorials, and, you know, I'll take whatever I learned from those producers and just add it to my own beats. Don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's a reason why we got these cool resources out here. You know, your cell phone right here, even when you go on TikTok, you could find like people telling you how to sauce up melodies. Like, I'll just be scrolling through TikTok. I'll literally just scroll past literally everything. But when I stumble across a music video, I'm just like, oh, let me watch this.
Yeah.
And if they give me some information that's worthwhile,
yeah,
like it. You know?
Yeah. Dope, man. Well, that's what it do, man. That's it. Y'all heard it here first from GeekStar, man. GeekStar Beats.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Thank you.
Now you know what time it is.
Really?
It's the cook up time for the cook up. You gotta give us, you gotta give us some of that, something special. You gotta give us that.
Okay.
All right.
Let me just log into my laptop right quick.
Okay.
All right.
What are 3 things you need in the studio?
Honestly, the 3 things you need: your laptop, a flash drive, and either headphones or a keyboard. I personally would go for the headphones if you're like a loop maker.
Yeah.
If you're like actually like cooking up beats and shit like that, I would definitely bring the keyboard. So it's a tie between the keyboard and the headphones. But as long as you got that laptop and you got, you know, a cool little DAW, whether it be Ableton, Logic, FL, Pro Tools, not Minecraft. This is one DAW. The Migos used to use it. I think it's called Workcraft or Musicraft. something craft.
Yeah.
But as long as you have your laptop with your DAW, a flash drive, and a pair of headphones, you'll be good.
Yeah.
You'll be good. I think those are the 3 best things to have in the studio.
That's what's up, man. That's what it do. Without further ado, here you go. Here go the cook up. Hey, man, appreciate you being on the show. You definitely got to come back. We got to, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot more stuff we're going to talk about the next time you come on here. So, you know, just a little taste. Give these folks just a little taste of who GeekStar it really is. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
All right. It's the cook up. Time for the cook up.
All right. See, I need a key. Wait. Oh shit, that sounds good. Raise, lower that.
That do sound good.
Lower that right quick. I'm gonna change that. Let's just skip to the drums. Just bounce it out in place right quick, just because I'm getting annoyed by that crackling sound. All right, there we go. Now back to the mission at hand. Oh shit, wrong one. Change that to the paintbrush tool.
Sounding good. It's coming together. Coming together.
Yes, sir. Two last things.
Yo! Yo!
Arrange it right quick, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay. That
So,
sounds
yeah.
good. You got a tag?
Oh, you're right. Oh my God!
But now,
I usually
but you know what?
I usually add it at the end when everything's
good.
done.
Okay. Well,
All
then,
right.
sure, you could do that.
I'll just add it right quick, just for consistency's sake. Let's see. Throw that in there.
Dope beat right there.
RC20 for this lead, just to give it a little oomph to it, and cue it. this out. And this. And this. And then just add that on the back end. And then ourselves a pretty good sounding beat. Because I'm running like 3 things of Electra X, and they tend to be really CPU heavy. So I'm gonna see if I could.
No, just when you finish, bounce it down and send me the finished product.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, because I gotta roll.